Alright, today's Pick a Card Tarot is going to be a yes or no. The deck that I'm using is the Guardian of the Night Tarot. It's by a local Seattle-based artist. And the reason I picked these cards is that in her little booklet, which is beautifully done by the way, she includes all of the cards for yes, all of the cards for no, and all of the cards for maybe. So there's no ambiguity there. What I want to say before we begin is that the tarot only shows the future as it's currently, like what direction it's currently headed in. So no matter what your card says, depending upon your question, there's usually a lot of agency that you will have to change that. This isn't like one of those, teenager magic drama type shows where, oh no, if you see the future, you'll try to change it and all of these bad things will happen. The reason that the universe would give us answers to questions about the future is so that we can make changes accordingly, so that we can make decisions now that will either further that outcome or prevent it. So after I draw these cards, I'll be looking at an oracle deck that will hopefully offer you some wisdom for how to proceed with those answers. All right, let's get started. Card number 1, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands in any reading is a happy card. And for this deck, the King of Wands is a yes. And I get the feeling that this is exciting for anyone who picked the first card in this spread. This is making you very happy to see that the answer is a yes. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw some cards and see what guidance the universe has to offer you. Oh, I got 3 cards. All right. We'll just take them. Awe. May you see the sublime in the everyday. Held. May you feel the ocean's caress. Alive. May you delight in vitality. That is so special. I was only planning to do 2 cards, but apparently the universe had a little bit more to say for some of you. And I see that this is a very good thing. For those of you who are seeing this, this is the universe saying, I've got you. Everything is working out. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Appreciate the small little blessings that are going to start coming your way. Know that you are held, that there is grace that is wrapping you up. And delight in vitality. If you had a question about health, this card, I really feel like it's telling you you're going to be okay. You are healthy. You have so much energy that is in store. If your question was even, for some of you, I think it might have been about depression. And maybe you're wondering, will you always feel this way? Or is it ever going to get better? And this is absolutely a yes, it's going to get better. You are going to feel so much radiance and so much energy. Just keep holding on and know that the universe has got you. And that there is so much hope. And appreciate just the small things, because so many little blessings are going to start coming your way. And those are all just gearing up for something really special and incredible that the universe is just waiting for you to be ready for it to just flow into your life. So my absolute best wishes to everyone who picked this pile. There are so many good things in store for you. Just keep holding on. It's right there. It is coming. And especially a king card too. The kings are very successful in the tarot deck. All right, for those of you who picked card number 2, the Lovers. Usually in tarot decks, the Lovers is such a beautiful romantic card. And I'm definitely not saying that this card isn't beautiful, but I do sense such a darkness in it as well. Oh my goodness, you can hear a train off in the distance. It's definitely the Pacific Northwest. So this all being said about just the general energy that I'm getting from this card, according to the artist for this deck, the Lovers is a no. And I'm really sensing that for a lot of you, you feel relieved. Disappointed, but also relieved. Maybe your question was about something that had to do with a relationship, or just something that you were very attached to. And this might be very disappointing news. And even though I do believe there is room for you to change this, if you don't want the answer to be no, I do feel that the universe is asking you if it's something you want to change. Let me go ahead though and draw some cards so we can get an actual message. This one, I feel like this one wants to come out. Space. May your heart and your scope expand. One more. Also, if anyone is wondering how I pick these cards, sometimes they'll just be a card that catches my eye, but a lot of times they tend to have kind of a magnetic or a stickiness is how I feel with the cards. And I feel that one with this one especially. It's almost as though it weighs more than the other cards, like it presses itself into my palm when I'm touching them. And I know it can be different and also the same for a lot of tarot readers. So just in case anyone was wondering how I am choosing, and we've held. This came up for the last group as well. So maybe there might be a very common brainwave or storyline that's happening among people watching this channel. May you feel the ocean's caress. The universe wants you to know it's got you. You are okay. Even if this was really disappointing to hear that the answer was a no, there are so many beautiful and bright things that are available to you because of this being a no. And really give yourself a moment to just feel held. If there's heartbreak, release the heartbreak back out into the ocean. Give your heart space. I really feel that you are in a space right now where there's a lot of negative energy, and maybe you've had trouble tapping into your intuition right now. You've had trouble tapping into your intuition, and you might need a bit of distance from whatever the situation is to really clear your mind so that you know what decisions to make moving forward given the circumstances that you are in. For those who picked card number 2, my heart goes out to you. I'm wishing you the best. You've got this. You have absolutely got this. I know that everything is going to turn out okay in the end. I'm sorry for all of the struggles that you're feeling right now. I know it's a lot. I know that it's not the answer you wanted. I truly wish you the best, and I hope that in a couple months from now, maybe 3 to 5, you will be dropping a comment in this video and let me know. A motorcycle just went past. What is it with this card and all of the noise suddenly? But I am hoping that in the next 3 to 5 months, you'll be dropping a comment on this video, letting me know that everything turned out better than you even could have imagined it to be. All right, I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, card number 3, the one that was hiding back here. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Look at that bee and all of its hard work. The Eight of Pentacles, and we have it reversed. Now for this deck, the Eight of Pentacles is listed as a maybe. And especially the fact that it's reversed, I do feel like you have a lot of agency in this situation. Typically, the Eight of Pentacles is associated with a lot of hard work. And there are so many cards that could have shown up as a maybe, but the fact that you got the Eight of Pentacles, I mean, just look here at how hard this bee is working. So whatever your situation is, there is still time to change it. Maybe it's a maybe because there's someone else involved and maybe the ball's in their court and they haven't decided yet. Or perhaps it's a maybe just because there's still work to be done and you haven't decided whether you're going to do that work or not. And maybe you haven't even decided if it's worth it to do that work. So let's go ahead. I've got my oracle cards here. Let's see what the ocean deck has to say. Okay, this card, I feel it. Curious. May you open and explore. So if you're wondering, is it even worth it? The card is asking you to answer that question before you proceed, before you put any more work into this situation, into this maybe. Get curious. Really figure out what it is that you want from this situation. Do you want it to be a yes? Do you want it to be a no? What were you hoping this card was going to be as I was drawing it from the deck? And why? Let's see if there's another card in here. This one is sliding all around back here. It's like it wants to come out upside down, but the oracle cards, I'm going to say right side up. Fluid. May you shift and transform. An interesting thing about water is that you can drink it, you can swim in it, and yet it cuts through rocks. And it's none the weaker for it. Imagine if you had like a saw blade that can just cut through rocks, which they exist. They have a very short lifespan because most things, when they cut through something strong, they dull in the process. But not for water. Water, over time, with just hard work and the way the current moves, it will hew through rocks. It will carve out valleys. If you've ever had water leaking in your house, you know the damage water can do. And yet so much of the beauty of the earth is a result of the damage that water does. You are the water in this situation. This is you working hard. This is you deciding if it's worth it. You have the power and the strength to keep going, but do you want to? That is the question that I feel the universe is really asking you right now. And I think once you decide, yes, absolutely, I want to, the universe is going to make sure that everything works out for you. Everything works out for your success. But if you decide, no, this isn't worth it, that is okay too. There are better opportunities out there for you. And maybe not even necessarily better, maybe just other good opportunities. It's your decision what you want to do. If you decide to proceed, there is a way forward. If you decide no, it doesn't align with you, that is okay too. So that is the answer that I have for your card, for this third card in the deck. For those of you who picked this card, I wish you the best. I hope this really answered any doubts that you were feeling about this situation. I hope you get all the clarity you're seeking, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, card number 4. We have the moon. Look at that. Not surprising, the moon is a card of no. And the reason I say not surprising is because anytime in tarot readings that I do personally, when I ask for clarification and the moon comes out, it is always the universe saying no. you don't get clarification on this. Trust your intuition. You're not supposed to know the answer. So I want you to keep that in mind with this reading. The answer to your situation might be no, or it might also be you're not meant to know the answer to this. Because of the kind of ambiguity that comes with this card, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull some oracle cards. And I might pull a couple extra just because it feels like this group might need a little bit more advice on this situation. So I have my Ocean Oracle cards here. Okay, right away I felt like that one as soon as I touched it. Belonging. Oh, look at that. I think those are little turtles making their way to the ocean in this card. May you welcome yourself home. So this really is a card of trusting your intuition. This card, I think. Oh, yeah, it feels right. It feels right. It has an energy to it that just seems like this is a pile where you're meant to hear this. Joy. May you pursue what lights you up. Let me see if I can get a few more cards. I was only planning to do 2 cards for each pile, but already we're a couple cards in and the universe has had different plans. Present. May you sense each shiver of the surf. This, I'm going to say, is really a card saying you're not supposed to know the answer, because all of the cards that have come out are very intuition focused. May you welcome yourself home. May you sense each shiver of the surf. So, I mean, if there's any metaphor for what intuition is, I feel like that's it right there. And may you pursue what lights you up. So for those of you who picked card number 4, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for you that you're looking for. You are meant to keep going and keep trusting your intuition. If you absolutely must have a yes or no answer, it is in the no pile, but given these cards, I truly feel, I don't know if you can hear the kids playing outside. I truly feel that this is about sensing your intuition's direction in this situation. And even just hearing the little kids playing outside right now, it makes me feel like you are probably meant to be connecting with your inner child. Like there is something deep in your soul that has an answer for you, and it's time to just tune in to that frequency. So for those of you who picked card number 4, I'm wishing you the best. I know that connecting with your intuition can sometimes be hard and it looks different for everyone, but I know that everything's going to turn out exactly the way it's meant to. I wish you the absolute best, and I will see you in another reading. Bye. All right, for those of you who picked card number 5, the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a card of yes, and not just yes. Look at those laurels. This is a card of victory. So if you're wondering about the outcome to something, maybe you have a sporting event coming up, or you're wondering if you should start a sport, this is an absolute yes to that. Let me go ahead though and grab some oracle cards too, just to see if the universe has any specific guidance for you with this. Oh, my candle went out over there. All right, I am feeling this card wants to come out. Hope. May the horizon always sustain you. And this card. Pause. May moments of calm sustain you. That's so interesting. Both of these cards have the word sustain in them. If you're asking whether you should keep going with a project, the answer is yes. Now, again, remember, you always have some agency here. You don't have to do what the cards are telling you to do. I would take what the oracle cards say and however they resonate with you, follow that advice. But if you do keep going, if the question is whether or not you should continue with a project or start something back up again, there is a lot of value and perhaps even, I want to say fortune, but I want to say fortune on the level of your soul, on the level of how you feel and perceive yourself, that there is a lot of victory available in this project for you. All right, for those of you who picked that card, I wish you the best. I know that you're going to do wonderful things in life, and I'll see you in another reading. For those of you who picked card number 6, let me make sure. Oh, that's the card we just had. Okay, this is card number 6. We have the 7 of Wands. Oh my goodness. That is a card typically of a battle right there. We have the 7 of Wands and we have it reversed. So for this deck, the 7 of Wands is a no. However, because this card is upside down, I feel like you have a lot of agency here. I feel like there is a lot of room for you to make a decision if you don't want no to be the answer to this question. There's room for you to change this outcome. Let's see what the oracle cards have to say. All right, this one, let's see, come up. Powerful. May you be as potent as the ocean. Reveal. May openness lead you to connection. These seem a little different from each other initially. One is talking about being powerful, and again, the 7 of Wands is a card, I mean, you can see right here, if the wands were fighting sticks, it kind of looks like this alligator is about to take on a whole bunch of opponents. But also, may openness lead you to connection. If this is an argument that you're experiencing with someone, there is the option for it to not escalate into a fight. There is the option for growth and friendship to come from this. So, for those of you who picked this card, know that this is not set in stone and there's still a lot of room for things to change if you want them to. I wish you the absolute best with that situation, and I will see you in another video. Bye. All right. Card number 7. The Hierophant. Aww. The Hierophant is a card of no. That being said, the Hierophant is also, as you can see actually in this card, there is this, I want to say maybe it's a king mouse, and he's being put on a pedestal. And the Hierophant in the regular tarot a lot of times is depicted by a pope or some form of church. So some kind of an entity that's very important. If some of you are asking about a job, the answer is no. And if you're asking about getting accepted into something, into a school, for now anyway, as the cards are foreseeing, the answer is no. And it's also a call to really evaluate why this thing was so important to you. Why was it on a pedestal in your life? Were you thinking that it was going to bring you all this happiness, all this power? What were your hopes from, expecting this card or hoping for this card to be a yes? Oh, my other candle just went out. I guess we're going to have the reading in the dark now. I'm going to go ahead and grab some oracle cards. Faith. May trust steady your fears. It's interesting to see a card of faith show up in connection to the Hierophant, which again, oftentimes is related to religion. I feel like this card here also. Awe. May you see the sublime in the everyday. For those of you who picked this card, I'm wishing you the absolute best in this situation. I hope that whatever does come as a result of this, remember there might be room to change it if this is something that like you haven't received the answer in stone yet. But also there is a call to evaluate why this was so important to begin with. And I hope that journey of soul searching turns out very well for you. And I hope I will see you in another video. Bye. All right, card number 8. Also, my candles went out, so I had to relight them. The Nine of Wands. This is interesting because the Nine of Wands on its own is a card of boundaries. In fact, the artist, I read what she had written for this card, and she said that when you agree to too many things and you start to feel just a lot of pressure from that, you can kind of become prickly. And if you're not setting up boundaries, you lose a lot of connections with the people around you. The boundaries are actually there to keep those connections healthy and strong. That being said, the Nine of Wands is a card of maybe. I know you're going to hate this because I almost get the feeling you're wondering if, just given the energy in the card of the Nine of Wands, if you should say yes or no to a particular invitation or maybe to another task that you're considering adding to your plate. And the Nine of Wands is saying maybe. I grabbed the oracle cards and I saw this card on the bottom. I feel like it needed to be seen by you as well. Reflect. May you discern and distill. So take all of the reasons why you feel like saying yes to whatever this is, whatever that situation or invitation might be, and ask yourself why, like, what would a yes get you? Is it out of obligation? Where is that sense of obligation coming from? All right, let's see if there are any other cards here. With maybes, I feel like we need to get more than 2, but we'll see. Okay. Compassion. May you tend to the suffering. That could also be yourself. Maybe you need a little bit of self-compassion right now. This card. Beauty. May you perceive nature's artistry afresh. Whatever your question was that you got this, I hope not frustrating, but potentially frustrating baby from the deck. Take a moment to really appreciate how beautiful nature is. If you have a window you can look out of that right now. Pause the video, go look out that window. Ground yourself in what is actually important to you. And I hope that whatever it is that has the best intentions for you, whether that is a yes or a no, I hope that is what comes of this situation. For those of you who picked this card, I am wishing you the best, and I hope I see you in another video. Bye. All right, for those of you who picked card number 9, the star. Look at this beautiful artistry in this card. The star is a very special card in tarot. It can mean either a wish or it could mean that you will become a star in the sense of popularity and influence and celebrity. So whatever question you're asking, I feel like that's very important to you. You have a lot of hopes and dreams relating to this question. And that being said, the star is a card of yes. whatever those hopes and dreams are, the answer is yes. The universe wants you to know. And the universe also wants you to know that there's not going to be a lot of work involved in this. You don't need to stress about it. The star is just, it's so beautiful in that it's not about, breaking your back to get a job done. You are just attracting it just by existing. You're on the frequency for that dream to come to you. I'm going to go ahead and grab a few oracle cards here. I feel like this card and this card both want to come out. Forgive. May you let it be heard. May your brave call be carried on the wind. I love that it says this, and then we have, it looks like a deer that is here, because deer they call, especially if you're someone in this area. Maybe you've heard around mating season in the Pacific Northwest, those deer just bugling out. I think the elk do it as well. There are no moose in this area that I'm aware of, but I know in other parts of like Washington, Oregon, Idaho, there are moose that will just bugle out. And to see both this beautiful stag right here with all of these antlers, there's even a bird just resting in this antler, and this card, may your brave call be carried on the wind. The universe has heard you. And I think this is also, if someone was thinking about sending out an audition tape, do it. And don't be surprised when it gets heard. And suddenly people know you buy that tape, or they know about you from something that came as a result of that tape. Be brave, take that leap. And there's one more card that is just, it feels like, oh my goodness, of course it wants to come out. Expansive. May you connect to the whole. And what I hear for this card is that you have a tribe of people waiting for you. There is an entire creative collective of individuals who are on the same wavelength as you, and they are just waiting to welcome you into their presence. May you connect to the whole. You are a small part in something beautiful, but you are a significant part. You have a role to play that is so important. I wish you the absolute best at this. I'm so happy for you. You have so much goodness coming your way. You don't have to work hard for this to come true. You already are where you need to be. You're already on the frequency for it to happen to you. Just keep going. Send that call out. Send that brave call to be carried on the wind. Oh my goodness. For those of you who picked this card, I wish you so much good luck, but I don't even think you're going to need it. I think it is already surrounding you. All right. I will hopefully see you in another video. Bye. All right. For those of you who picked card number 10, we have the Three of Wands. That is beautiful. The Three of Wands in tarot, it talks about starting out on a journey. So if your question was about travel or starting or trying something new, this is a card of yes. And this is a card of yes in any tarot deck that I have ever seen. However, it did come out reversed, which means that there's still a lot of agency that you have to change this. If the question is whether or not you should move, or if you're going to be moving, if you're going to be offered maybe a job somewhere that's far away, or at least is going to require a significant amount of travel, you have the ability to change this answer. If you don't like that it's a yes, you have so much room for deciding otherwise. That being said, there's also a possibility that there are a few things you're missing. So let's say you are planning a trip right now and you're wondering if the trip is going to happen, if you're going on that trip. It's a yes, but you might have forgotten something. You might need to double check your itinerary and make sure that you know, your flight is landing on the day that you think it is, and with time change, like if you're moving through another time zone, it's not actually going to happen the day before, and you won't have a hotel room that night, or something that is going to be silly as a story afterwards, but in the moment might be a lot of stress. So the card being upside down, there might be something that you need to double check, or it might be just saying that if you don't want it to be a yes, there's still so much room for you to say no. Everything is going to turn out really well with that situation. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at what I just said. Decide. May you navigate with purpose. I love this card so much. This reminds me of this walkway that's right on the Oregon coast that I used to go running on. And as you got closer towards the end, the rocks became just slippery from the waves, and also they'd be all just jagged sometimes and be a little difficult to walk out there. But it was beautiful because once you got out there, you just saw ocean. And there's a lighthouse out there too, it looks like. This might be, for those of you who you're not sure you wanted this to be a yes, this card might be asking you if this is a journey you really want to set out on. And perhaps even warning you that towards the end, it might get a little hard to keep going. Do you really have the strength to set out on this journey? If that's a yes, then it's a yes. It's a yes. Turn the card upside down, or right side up, I should say, because you're ready to go. But if you're hesitating, you might be, the universe might be calling you to reevaluate your intentions behind why you're doing this. Because if your why is not bigger than any obstacle you encounter, you might fail. And in fact, you're probably going to. So for those of you who perhaps this is referring to something else, because again, it is a general reading, I'm sure there are a lot of you. We have the card of Resilient. May your soul weather the storms. This could even be talking to those of you who are still deciding about this journey as well, letting you know that you do have the strength within you to weather whatever storm is at the end of that journey, or the middle for that matter, or maybe it's the beginning that you're thinking is going to be difficult. There is a way forward if you want it. And for those of you who you're about to take a trip but you're just scared, maybe you've never left the country before, maybe you've never been on an airplane before, maybe you're going somewhere you don't speak the language, or maybe you're going somewhere where you just read a review online and they're talking about all this crime and how dangerous it is. You are ready for this journey. You are 100% ready for this journey. Your soul will weather the storms, and they're going to be beautiful. You're going to experience so much. Take the steps to be safe on that journey. You know, don't go walking around with a bag that's wide open and cash everywhere, just asking to be stolen. But take that trip. Be smart. Be safe. Take that trip. It is going to be so life-changing for you. Unless, of course, there's a part of you that is saying no. Ask yourself what part that is, because again, this card is upside down. And maybe it's something that you need to say no to. There could be a little bit of everything watching this video right now, just in the viewers, in the people who picked this card. So really discern where you are with that one. And there's one more card that feels like it wants to come out. Lightness. May the light lift you to the surface. I feel like there are actually maybe one or two of you watching this that are disappointed by this card being a yes. I want to remind you it's upside down, so there's still room for you to change this outcome. If this is a journey you don't want to go on, a journey you're scared of, listen to your soul. Listen to words that uplift you. Tune out the negativity. Tune out the scary thoughts. You have the strength to do this. You have the strength to go on this journey if it's a journey you want to go on. There is a way out if the answer for you is no, you don't want to go on this journey. And if this is a situation that involves someone else who perhaps you don't want to go on a journey with, maybe this is a next step in a relationship, you don't have to say yes. It's okay to say not yet. And there's actually a lot of honor in just speaking your mind and letting people know how you feel and not being embarrassed by that. And if there is any negativity as a response to you speaking your truth, so long as you are speaking from a place of deep understanding and honesty and authenticity, the negativity shows a lot more about the other people involved than it does a reflection of you. So for those of you who this is actually a bit of a sad realization, I hope that you find peace, and I hope that you find the answer and make the decisions that will bring you all of the light that your soul deserves to have, all of the goodness that you deserve to be surrounded by. And for those of you who this is an exciting card, I wish you so much luck on this journey. I am so happy for you. I know that it's going to turn out well for everyone, and I hope I see you in another reading. Bye. All right, for those of you who picked card number 11, the High Priestess. Oh, this is such a beautiful card. The High Priestess is a card of intuition and really trusting yourself. It is also a card of no in this deck. Let me go ahead and grab some oracle cards and see what they have to say, what guidance is available for you. I feel like this card wants to come out. Love, may you dive deep into your passions. I think some of you are having doubts about a relationship, and this no might actually be a very clarifying card for you. It could also be maybe questions about a friendship. Maybe you're having feelings like a friend is pulling away and you're wanting to know if that's true. And what this card is telling me is that that's not happening, that your friendship is solid, and it's time to really focus on yourself right now as well, with diving deep into your passions, and let your friend come back to you when she's able. Or if this is a question about a relationship, it's again reminding you to not be overthinking. The High Priestess is a card of feeling, of intuition, and just, existing in a spiritual energy and not so much in your head. So it makes sense that a card of love and diving into your passion shows up as well. And we have a card of faith. May trust steady your fears. I do believe a lot of you are having a lot of really intrusive thoughts going on with the High Priestess here and the card of no. And love and faith. I'm going to pull another card. I don't think there's a card of charity in here, but if there were, I feel like it would come up right now. Oh, we have pause. May moments of calm sustain you, and reveal. May openness lead you to connection. One of these came out in another card. That makes me think that, just based on its situation with the other card, that this is really you're having questions about an interpersonal relationship. And the advice that you're getting is to fall in love with the things that bring you joy your own passions, hobbies, even if that's just self-care, whatever it is that you need to do to really feel alive and feel good about yourself, to focus on those things and to not have your head so wrapped up in this situation. To pause, especially if you're overthinking. I don't know if there's anyone else here who played a game called Marble Run at any point, especially when they were kids. You have all of these little like chutes and tubes and little spinner things, and you put all of these marbles in, and they just run down so fast. And some of the sets would have these like wishbone shaped intersections where the marbles need to merge and they get all jammed up. And if you didn't, put them down at the right speed, and they had funnels, and if you had too many marbles, they would all clog up the funnels. Sometimes our thoughts are like that. And I get the feeling that you have had just these racing thoughts, and they've been like a million marbles just going through this maze and clogging up the tunnels and not merging properly, and just the noise of it. It's time for you to pause. For those of you who picked card number 11, take a breath. Take a breath. The world is not ending. Have faith. If this is about someone you love and you're worried that maybe their feelings for you are not true anymore, they're not there, have faith that the universe knows what's right for you and what's best for you. And may your openness lead you to connection. I want to show this card a little closer, because if anyone's ever gone snorkeling over a reef, you see so many little fish in there, and they're all just like working together. I mean, think about Finding Nemo, just an entire community of all of these little fish and just other creatures working together. It's that collaborative spirit, that openness. The world is not out to get you, and I'm not saying that in any kind of patronizing way. I'm saying that with genuine love and kindness, that it seems as though you've been in your head too much, and it's time to just let that go, to be open to new connections, to have faith that things are going to work out in the absolute best way possible for you, and to remember that you're pretty cool all on your own. You have a lot of things about you that are really special, separate from how you fit into the space of people around you, your interconnectedness with, whether that's family or friends or people at school or co-workers or your relationship. There is so much more to you than just the people that you know, but there is also a part of you that is involved with a beautiful interconnectedness, a community of people who do love you and support you. And I also just realized I was making a joke about faith, hope, and charity, but I said love, and love is the one is faith, hope, and love, not charity. But the fact I was thinking that the one that is missing is hope, but also in a way it's not, because these are cards about intuition and being calm. And what is it that we're waiting for and hoping for in the calm? But it's peacefulness, and it's an answer to our prayers, whether these are prayers that we have voiced to other people or that we're holding deep in our heart. And I think that there is a lot you have that is worth hoping for and worth dreaming about. But there is also a lot of beauty that is already in your life. And there's so much goodness. And I feel so happy for you as a group, because even though overthinking is so difficult to move on from, I know that you're going to get there. I know that you are going to fall back in love with the parts of your life that truly make you who you are, and that things are all going to work out for you in a really positive way. So for those of you who picked this card, I wish you the best, and I hope I see you in another reading. Yay! All right, card number 12. The very last card, and we have Judgment. Look at that. The snake has shed its skin, and in a way, it's like it's a new creature. It's outgrown whatever it was that was constricting it, that was holding it back. And there's just a general feeling to this card of just happiness and freedom. It is a card of no. And the fact that it was reversed, it means there's still a lot of room. If you don't like that answer, there's still a lot of room for you to change that. It's not a no definitely, but it is a no. And I do feel like, just given the situation with the snake, there might be something that's very tight around you and it's very uncomfortable. And you're wanting to know how long it's going to go on for, if you can deal with it, like when is it going to end? And the universe, I feel like, is wanting to know, it's wanting to ask you honestly, will this thing that you were worrying about matter in 10 years? And how so? Because I imagine that right now this snake is so happy with its shiny new skin. But eventually it's going to need to outgrow that skin too. That skin is going to need to be shed. He's going to have to shed his skin over and over again. And that's the same for us as people. We have things that are so important to us, and then we accomplish them, and we move forward, and then there's another thing that's so important to us. And how often do we really look back and ask ourselves, are we happy with the things that have happened to us in the past? Did we take time to celebrate those little achievements? Are you on this infinite journey of just the next big thing? And if you are, if this thing that is so important to you that you're asking about, this thing that right now is a no, though there's still room for it to become a yes, will it matter in 10 years? So I'm going to go ahead and draw some oracle cards, just see if there's any words of wisdom. I feel like this one wanted to come out. Begin. I love that, especially with the snake metaphor. May you start as if you have already begun. I get the feeling, I don't need to say anything about this. You know. You saw this and this card made sense to you. So I'm just going to leave that there. Let's see if there are any cards that still want to come out. Maybe this one. Free. May your soul sing freely. Is there something that you need to let go of? And because this card is reversed, I'm going to go ahead and grab another card. Held. These have come out in a few different card groups. So there might be a collective experience that's happening among the viewers of this channel. May you feel the ocean's caress. The universe has got you. That's what this card is saying, is that whatever it is you're worried about, whatever the situation is, you're good. The universe has you. And any other cards? This one wants to come out. This has already come out for another group too. That's so special. May you see the sublime in the everyday. Go ahead and organize that so there's a little bit of aesthetic to this. I am sensing that you might be someone who's a little too hard on yourself, and you may have a tendency to really see things negatively and punish yourself when things don't go right. With the card of Judgment, taking that word literally, you might judge yourself a lot. You may also perceive others as judging you, and it may or may not be true. So where you're at right now, take a deep breath and really ask yourself, how much is this worth to you? Because I sense that this is something you're really beating yourself up over. And maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important. It's not as important as it seems now. And even though you still have the ability to change this, even though it's a no, it doesn't have to be a no. There's room for it to change. That's why, at least that's my understanding, is why the card is upside down. That's how I'm going to interpret it. Ask yourself why this is important to you. And really appreciate what a fantastic person you are already. That this doesn't define you. This situation is not what you're going to be known for when someone writes a history book, or if, and this is dark, but if you die, this is not going to be what's on your gravestone. This is not what your friends and family are going to say was the reason you were sent to Earth for. So while I understand it's so important to you, there might be a level of detachment that you need to have with it. Whatever the situation is, I wish you the best. I hope only good things come from it. I know if you're open to them, the best will come for you. And if this is something that is truly going to bring you so much happiness, I hope that it does become a yes. And if it's something that you need to let go of, I really hope that you are able to find peace with the answer if the answer is a no. All right. For those of you who pick card number 12, that's all I have for you. I wish you the best, and maybe I'll see you in another reading. Bye.